All right, the women who did the baking were and cooking, my mom, Hannah Feldman, Dorothy Sherman, Ray Lebo, Frances Silver. I think they were the main group. Dorothy Rosenthal also helped in later years. And Gloria Silverman sometimes came in and helped too. And then if they needed extra help, I would come in. And I can't remember who else came in, but that was the main group.
Your memories. Tell me some of your memories of the Hunter Street Shul.
Okay. All right. Well, I say that sort of vividly as a young person. I remember sitting there on Rosh Hashanah, and I think we were in maybe the second or third row from the balcony, or from the rail. And all the ladies would get very dressed up and hang their fur coats over the rail of Rosh Hashanah. That vividly stands in my mind. And I do remember Pat Kaplan, who was always the usher up there, and he had a terrible time trying to keep the ladies quiet. We gave him a really hard time. And I just remember looking down, you know, because you're up there and the women really didn't participate very much. It was sort of watching what was going on downstairs. So it was very exciting on Simchas Torah, let's say. Very few kids came to Shul on Simchas Torah, but I always did. And I was able to go downstairs with my father. And so we were down there, and then we would go out, they would even let us go up to the bima, we'd tie the tzitzis together and things like that. There was just one other girl, Deborah Levy. Her father was Dave Levy, and her grandfather was Isaac Levy, who people, real old timers would remember. And I think the two of us were the only ones who actually ever came to Shul on Simchas Torah. And that was fun. And I remember our various rabbis that we had to a point. And I remember Rosh Hashanah, actually part of the fun was standing outside playing, you know, just talking and with all the kids. Because at that time, there were a lot of people who today may belong to the temple, but they belonged to our shul. So there were a lot of people my age at the Beth Jacob. And we used to have a real good time.
How old were you in the Hunter Street Shul days?
From the time I was born, and I had my bat mitzvah there when I was 12. So I think this shul, I think was built in 52, I think, or 53. So I was 12 or 13 when they built this shul on Aberdeen.
Remember the first time you came into this building? Or like those days, the trend?
Yeah, I can remember that. Well, I vaguely remember it. I remember the cornerstone laying. That I can remember. I remember standing on Aberdeen and watching the cornerstone laying. Also because I lived very close to the shul. I guess I moved up to Amelia Street very close to the shul right about the same time. I think I was 12 or 13. So I was by here a lot. And I do remember watching the building go up. And I do remember the cornerstone laying, yeah.
Can you say anything about the cornerstone laying?
I honestly can't remember much about it. I just remember, you know, there were a lot of people there, and it was very exciting. It was very, it was just really a huge move from this small little place to this great big place. And it was also the time too where the shul went from becoming Orthodox to becoming conservative. So it was a lot of changes.
If you had to identify the best years of your Beth Jacob life, like the best years for you, and your involvement with the shul, what would those years be?
Probably the years I had my children and they were going to Hebrew school, and I was active in the shul then. I was active in sisterhood a bit, and I was active I was on the school board, and sort of all those years, I guess, probably were the.
Who was the rabbi then?
I'm Rabbi Silverman was the rabbi then.
Were you close with either of the Silvermans?
Yeah. I was quite friendly with Gloria. And my family were very close with the rabbi and Gloria. My parents were. So sometimes we were invited over for a holiday or for lunch on Saturday after Shabbat, that kind of thing. But I knew Gloria quite well, yeah.
Can you say something about your parents as individuals? Say something describe them.
Oh gosh, my parents were very devoted to the shul. Both of them were very principled people, very principled, very traditional. Very dedicated to their shul and to sort of almost everything Jewish. They were hardworking. They did a lot when they were in their younger days in the old Beth Jacob, and then all through here. My dad was on the board, and I think he was quite a bit involved in the move and the decision to build the new shul. I believe he was. But I think after that, once we moved in here, he came all the time and was very active. They were always, didn't matter which rabbi it was, they were always very friendly with the rabbi, and always attended both of them, always studied with the rabbis. I guess probably Rabbi Silverman did the most studying, but Rabbi Simon too, I remember, had classes and so on, and they were very friendly with them too. My mother greatly admired Gloria. I think Gloria actually looked at my mother as a mother figure. Quite often she would call her for advice on certain things. And my mother was also very close to Fan Simon, Rabbi Simon's wife too. She was a real dynamo lady, and she was very involved in the school. And my mother was close with her too. And I think we were over there occasionally for dinner too, like our whole family. Rabbi Simon married us actually. But my parents it was just their way of life. They were always very involved.